What's up, you guys? FSC Speed Shop. We're going to start working on some issues that Orwell has with the extreme cold. I don't know what you call extreme, but outside, right there out my door, it literally is going to get to 14 degrees below zero tonight. That's not wind chill, that's actual. Okay, no scaredy old ladies wind chill factor here. But the fact is, the truck isn't doing so well in the cold. I did have an issue a few videos back you've seen where I lost the line between the compressor and the air dryer because I didn't hook up the AD9 air dryer. It has a heater in the bottom. I didn't hook it up. I basically just never got to it. And then last year I was working on the engine between January and March, so I didn't run in the hard cold. But this year I am. Now there's two issues the truck's been having. One is it has a Peterbilt installed hotline, which is a fuel heater from the tank to the first fuel filter, which is also a water separator. And what that does is it has a heating element in that length of hose. So that way it'll heat the fuel as it comes from the tank up to the engine. That's the first. Second, again, the air dryer. Those are two problems that I have not repaired. I didn't know that when I was throwing the switch to the fuel heater that it wasn't working. Honestly, I didn't really know how it worked. I just hit the switch and hoped. So in this video, we're gonna start taking care of these problems. So with that, I'm gonna have Matt be underneath the truck, checking for wires. We gotta find the wire routing and see if the factory wires are still usable. If not, we'll replace them. I do have enough wire to do so. To start, we're going to work on the air dryer's heating element, and if we have time for the remaining of the video, we're going to work on the factory Peterbilt hotline for the fuel. With that, let's get started. Hop in the truck. But you gotta hop in. Just all you gotta do is reach in and turn the key.
Oh, okay.
Just gotta turn it on. Now bear in mind, guys, I replaced the original air dryer here with this AD9 dryer. Right here is where the heating element would go, and this wire is what comes to where the old one was. And it wasn't hooked up then, if I remember right. And it's a pretty crummy connector, but I want to try to do a circuit test on it quick, see if we have any voltage at this wire, or whether I have to run a new wire to make this function properly and actually work. And the fun part is I gotta find a good ground. Go ahead and turn the key on. Turn it off. Alright, so there's just no power at this wire. What we're doing now is looking down into the dashboard. This is where my logbook cubby would normally be, so you recognize what it is. And now what I'm trying to do is find where that wire comes out, the wire that's underneath the truck. I've had Matt attach a longer wire to it so I can do an ohms test and find out, okay, where does this wire go up top here, so I know how to re-energize it. Go ahead and hand me that wire spool. Now, according to the schematic that my father found on the internet, the wire is wire number 242. And some of this stuff is labeled, some of it's not. As you can see, some of the stuff's been butchered under here. And I don't know what a lot of this crap goes to, where it comes from, or so on. I found this relay here, and I don't know what it does. What comes from it, or to it, or so on. So some of these wires are labeled, some of them are not. So what we're going to do is establish a good ground for a tester. Okay, so there we know we have positive 12 there, in case we need to check that. So now the end of this orange wire goes down to that wire at the air dryer. So that'll be a constant setup there. I'm not seeing anything loose or obvious under here. We'll go to that. So we'll move on over here. Alright, so this is behind the dash on the inside here. And we have a ton of wires in a loom here. One of these wires has to be the right one. Open the loom up a little bit, make some room. Some room to work. $242 right here. I don't think you guys could see it. But this is $242. Right there. Oh, it's even labeled right there on the circuit card right here. $242 right there. It comes on when I turn it on. So for some reason there's a break in the wire from where it is down below up to here, because it's circuit text. It has 12 volts when you turn the switch on. It's circuit test that way, but ohms test I got nothing. So there's a break in that wire somewhere. I don't know where or why or how, but it is. So I have Matt working on that wiring harness above the air dryer, and he's pretty sure he found a problem with a real crapola connection.
No connection at all. Here's the wire that was connected to the...
You're not on screen. Down, here you go.
This is the wire that was connected to the air dryer. I followed it into this loom where it's connected, and it's connected to all these other wires. I'm like, let me figure out what it's connected to. I pull out the rest of it. It's not even connected to anything. It was just sitting there.
And it's straight corroded off. All right, so find the end, the matching end of that, and clean it and strip it, and we'll test it for power. You're gonna have to cut it to where it's not corroded no more.
It's one of these two wires. I believe this one because of the...
Inside it was red with a yellow stripe, or yellow with a red stripe, I forget. Labeled 242. That looks purple.
Well, it was a black wire out here, so...
Right, but what's that there?
There's these two wires.
Well, they labeled them by color, so... Or by number. That's how Peterbilt has them labeled.
Come on. The two wires.
Here, I don't know where you have a acceptable ground around here.
Nowhere.
Try exhaust.
Should it light up or something?
Not now.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and turn the power on.
Okay.
Ready?
Yep.
Anybody got power? Mm-mm. You might have a good ground. All right, keep chasing. The wires are supposed to be positive 12. At least if that's what it was for, was the hookup for the other wires in that loom, or just those two?
It was just these two sticking out, but it looked. The one had a connection that was like what was on the other one.
Well, take the loom apart.
That's what I'm doing.
And find an end of that. There might be something that has switch 12 in there.
That's what this is. This right here, Dad, it goes to your fuel. I'm pretty sure this is your
like fuel gauges?
Fuel gauges, yes.
Okay.
This is what goes to your fuel gauges.
Well, what else is in there?
Because this is what was connected to the blue one, that purple / blue line.
Right.
And that looks like what was on the other end.
And it's labeled 241.
That has a label on it?
Metal label right there, see? See right there, it's a metal label. Here.
Oh, okay, well then get me that bad harness that is on the floor.
242 is what we're looking for.
Get that bad harness. This one's like blue with red wiring.
This one's labeled 242.
Okay.
So whatever that, show the camera 242. That's 242. So whatever that's hooked to is supposed to have power. Okay, so follow that.
Okay, this is a blue with, so I'm looking on the wire. See how it's blue with red?
Uh-huh.
If I look here, blue with red, see?
All right.
Red and blue. I think that's from paint, but still.
Well, yeah, it's a red wire.
I'd have to open up this entire loom. Like, I'd have to break the entire thing apart.
Follow, trace the loom.
Okay.
We're not going to replace, we're not going to cut the loom open.
Okay.
Like this stuff, we're not going to cut it open. Just trace the loom. A break-in, it ought to be pretty easy to find. Does it come this way or does it stay on that side of the frame?
It comes through the frame here.
Well, that's a crossmember. Does it stay on that side of the frame?
What do you mean?
The truck is on a left and a right.
Mm-hmm.
Some wiring, like the trailer wiring,
Yeah.
stays on the passenger side, the right side of the truck, and comes inside the frame C-channel. The bulk of the engine and truck controls come out from underneath my driver's seat on the left side of the truck. Hence why next to the engine and next to my driver's side front wheel is this huge, massive amounts of wires, hoses, and etc. So does that harness go to that side of the truck or this side of the truck?
Both. Comes from that side, comes this way, and goes through there.
Okay, it's not going, that's towards the back.
Yeah.
Everything originates from the front.
It comes...
So the flow comes this direction.
So it would then come from this side. Because it comes from this side, transfers over, and goes that way.
Okay, but I'm trying to work forward, not backwards, okay?
Yeah.
Obviously the power isn't generated from the taillights.
Well, I got that.
So work your way forward on that wire. Where does it go?
This side. It's from this side. And it comes through this side, and it gets lost in this, and it comes through the hole in the crossmember. Problem is, I'm having a hard time locating in this giant mess right here with your fuel and air stuff. I think I found it, but I don't know. Because it splits up again and comes here at this, whatever this is.
What is that? Pull it out.
It's a bunch of wires.
Does it look like it was cut?
It looks like it corroded.
Break-in, it ought to be pretty easy to find.
It looks like it corroded.
Break-in, it ought to be pretty easy to find.
Can you see that?
Yeah, pull it out of there. Does that go?
It's connected to the truck via a bolt. Well, no, it's zip tied to the bracket actually. Sorry. But I don't know if this is the same one. I'm just what it looks like it is. But I don't know for 100%.
Does it come from the front?
Yes. Well, it comes from the front and splits from the main one, which is I think the one I'm following from here.
Okay.
And it splits apart. There's a white one, like weird white one that goes somewhere into the bottom of your transmission.
Yeah, that's the one for the gauge, temp gauge.
Then, if that's the temp gauge, there's something next to it, which is this one, and it's like, I believe a ground of some kind. But there's a bunch of other wires there. You wanna come over here and look at that? There you go. You should be able to circuit test that. Check them both now. Well, nothing back here should be on constant 12. Nothing's on constant 12 here.
What?
Nothing's constant 12. Good.
Go.
Nothing. Ooh, I got something here. I got something here.
Got 12?
12.2 volts, yes.
0.2?
12.2. 12.2
Right.
volts.
Which color is that wire?
It's like the...
Is it a red or a white?
That's a red. Yeah, because I accidentally dropped it and it sparked on the frame.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a red wire.
Okay.
I don't know if that's the white one we're chasing or...
There's only one that goes down. Nothing else would be positive 12 on a switch down here.
No?
No.
Oh, okay. Would that still work because it is switch 12?
Yeah.
So it'd still work even if it's not switched on.
As long as the breaker will
Yeah,
hold
it's
it.
this one right here that it is.
All right, cut the other two straight.
Just cut them off?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is 14 gauge wire. I already crimped that.
Oh.
So crimp it to the...
I didn't know that, sorry.
Right, crimp it to that. Did you twist it down?
Mm-hmm. That's twisted.
All right. You got a little too much to it, but as long as it covers up. So you mean you uncovered too much wire for this?
I didn't cut it. That was all you. You cut stripped.
Okay.
It's being a pain going in.
You got it. Is it getting good? In other words, it's not going to expose the bare wire when you heat it?
No, it should not.
Okay. Crimp her down. Okay, heat it.
Okay.
Flip the other side. Okay. So now, these wires, I don't know what they go to, but we'll remember that they're there if we ever have to mess with this again. So now, I'm just going to wrap this up, make a decent harness out of it. Okay, cut it. Now try to loop this back and zip tie it nice, and then we'll route that red wire down to the air dryer.
Can you grab me some zip ties?
Yeah. You want big fat ones or regular ones?
Regular skinnies.
Alright, that's where the electrical plug goes there. So we'll plug in the plug. There we go. So now I just got to crimp these wires together and the other one to ground. Thanks. What are you fidgeting with?
Broken zip ties. Old ones that I cut off. I'm gonna go get a drink.
Where's the torch? Did you just have it down here?
Here.
Thank you. I need zip ties, Goobs.
All right.
Lots and lots of salt.
Are you using the audio from the GoPro?
Yes. Open the door carefully. Get ready to turn the ignition on.
Sure.
Give me that, sure. Open it carefully.
I got that. My hands are nasty.
Oh, well, wipe them off. Just reach in and turn the ignition on when you can. Turn the ignition on.
Okay. I was making sure that it didn't hit the...
Okay.
I didn't know how far it goes.
Okay, we have power here and a good ground. Excellent. Okay, turn it off.
That's it?
Yep. I gotta make a ground wire. Okay. Get me a, I'm gonna hook it right to here. I think it's a 1/2 inch. Give me a 1/2 inch socket and a 1/2 inch wrench.
Do you want me to shut the door?
Yeah. You can leave it the angle, it ain't gonna hurt none. Yeah. Lights. The light's running out of gas.
Oh.
It was blinking.
Yep.
Yeah, all I gotta do is tighten this bolt and then I'm done with that.
How can I make sure that wire isn't getting it?
You don't. Leave the door dangle like I said.
Oh.
Not like I'm filming or anything. Here we go. Hair dryer's wired up.